Hey guys, what's up? It's me, xGalaxi Girlx, and we just finished week 2 of the Hunger Games Read-A-Thon. If you don't know what the Hunger Games Read-A-Thon is, I'll leave a couple videos or a video in the description talking all about what it's about. But we're almost finished with it, guys. We only have one more week to go. And yeah, so basically what it is, we're going to be rereading the Hunger Games Trilogy. So we've already read, during week 1, we read the first book, The Hunger Games, and then week 2, we just finished Catching Fire, and that's what this video is all about. We're going to be talking about Catching Fire. And then in week 3, which is this upcoming week, we're going to be reading Mockingjay. Woo! So between November 15th till November 21st, we're going to be rereading Mockingjay. And then Mockingjay Part 1, the movie, will be coming out, so like, oh my gosh, I'm super excited. And then on November 22nd, I'll upload a video talking about Mockingjay. So just think, this time next week, I would have already seen Mockingjay. It just really makes me happy. So, yeah. So let's get started talking about Catching Fire. So, Catching Fire, this was my 3rd time rereading it, and seriously, I forgot so much. I really have. I mean, this is my 3rd time rereading it, so I've read it 2 other times, and I still forgot a whole bunch of stuff. There's just things you pick up on every time you read it, and it's just so nice. So, when I was reading Catching Fire, I felt like I was reading 2 different books. Like, one where she was in the districts and one where she was in the capital. They felt so completely different that I felt like I was reading 2 different books. And that's not a bad thing necessarily. I actually enjoyed seeing that aspect of it, because if I saw how different capital life and in the arena and everything is different from her life in the districts. So it just felt so different, and I just loved that. We probably all have seen the movie, and we know that in the movie there's just so many things they leave out, from Twill and Bonnie to Darius to like all these like little scenes, like scenes from like, oh geez, the rooftop scene is one scene I think of, which I'm really angry that was not in the movie, but it was in the script. Like, it was in the movie script, but it wasn't, they probably filmed it, but they didn't put it into the movie, which makes me really angry. But yeah, but I really think we should have had Twill and Bonnie in the movie, because it just would have showed so much more from, like, showing District 13, because I feel like in the movie they're like, we're going to District 13, and it's like, what's District 13? What's going on? So I just feel like we should have had Twill and Bonnie and learn more about District 13 and the rebels and what's happening in the other districts. And then there's Darius, and just his whole situation just shows how evil the capital really is, giving Katniss one of her friends and turn him into one of her Avoxes is just terrible. So yeah, and all those little scenes with, what's her face? Madge, and, just all those little scenes, how she, like, kind of runs up to, the door and gives, stuff to Katniss for Gale after he was whipped, and Katniss kind of thinks, oh, maybe Madge and Gale, like, got together or something. She kind of gets a little jealous, and she's like, Gale is mine, and I am his, and I just thought that was really sweet, and and the whole thing with Haymitch and him being in the 50th quarter quell, and I just love that so much, and Maisie, and how Maisie is Madge's, like, aunt, and how, like, Maisie was friends with, Katniss's mother, and Katniss's mother, and like, it's just so crazy, and I'm just like, everything is perfect. And yeah, so just all the PETA scenes in this book were spot on, fabulous. I have like all these scenes marked in my book with PETA, and all these are PETA and Katniss scenes. All the little bookmarks are PETA and Katniss scenes. I don't have problems. No. I also just love seeing Joanna, Max, BT, and Finnick, of course. He's like my all-time favorite. Just the first scene with Finnick is just so wonderful, and the first scene where we meet Finnick is so spot on to the movie. It's like perfect, and I'm really happy about the movie's job with that. I just love Finnick, and I felt so bad for him where he's like calling out for Annie, and it's just really sad. So, and I almost cried when Mags, you know. So yeah. Also, I just love having. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the book, Katniss always has these nightmares, and she kind of tells us like in like one paragraph these nightmares, and there's like 3. I remember one very vividly. It was one where she's talking about tongues, and like these tongues are like attacking her because of Darius. And there was another one with Mags, and how like she saw Mags, and then like Mags became like I forget, I think it was a wolf, and like she started attacking her, and it's crazy. I also, all the tiny little details in these books are just so perfect, and that what makes the books. From, like, Peeta's favorite color is orange, and then in the beginning of the book, he makes these cookies for President Snow, and they are orange frosting, and then Katniss later makes that a connection. All these like connections, she sees stuff earlier on, and then like she makes a connection to it later on, and it's just perfect. I love those so much. And I know there's stuff from the first book that was in the second book, and this stuff in this book that we'll reference into Mockingjay, but we'll get there. We'll talk about those in the next book talk when we're talking about Mockingjay. But yeah, so this whole book was absolutely fabulous, and when I finished this book about 10 o'clock last night, and like exactly 10 o'clock, and it was kind of funny because I was like, oh my gosh, it's the 10 o'clock wave is starting, and I'm in like that's like in the arena of the 10 o'clock wave, and I'm thinking I'm like running from the wave, and like the wave is coming crashing down with all these emotions, like the wave of emotions just comes crashing down on me, and that's how I felt. And I'm just like, oh, it's perfect, isn't it? So, yeah, I thought that was funny. So, I guess that's it. There's just so many other things we could talk about, but that's all we really have time for. So, yeah, just so many emotions at the end of this book. What a cliffhanger, and I'm super excited to jump into Mockingjay. So, tell me what you, what your favorite scene was from Catching Fire and how you enjoyed it. It's my all-time favorite book. So, yeah, so I guess that's it, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Remember, between November 15th and 21st, we'll be reading Mockingjay. So yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!